The Browns do not have Baker Mayfield, and they are 2-point favorites. What do you see in this game?
So this game opened as high as Cleveland -6, and then before the news of the Mayfield injury, as well as some of the other injuries, it came down as low as 3. So I think the bookmakers were preparing for this. So yesterday it's sitting on 3. Then you have the news that Mayfield's out. It drops down to about 2. So that's to be expected. Public money gets involved. People want to chase Denver. But what's the drop-off? And when we're handicapping this game, this is what we have to figure out. What's the drop-off between an injured Baker Mayfield and Case Keenum? Not a healthy Baker Mayfield, because he hasn't been healthy for weeks. So how big is that drop? If you feel that that's a significant drop, maybe you want to play Cleveland in this game. If you feel that it's not that big of a drop, and I don't believe it's that big, because again, it's an injured Mayfield, then I might look to the Denver side in this situation, even though you're probably not getting the best of it, considering the line is already moved. If you're looking for a play in this game, I would play the under. It was as high as 44. It's down to 41. I think this is going to be your classic Thursday night rock fight here, right? You've got two teams that rank 27th or slower in pace. They don't really run an up-tempo offense on a consistent basis. Denver's 4th in scoring defense. You have a Cleveland team that is 2nd in opponent yards per play. I think ultimately both teams are going to struggle to move the ball. Low-scoring game. I like the under 41 points, Max.
See, I feel like it's the same whether Baker Mayfield is a part of the team or not, because Case Keenum has run this offense in Minnesota. So there's not much drop-off as far as the quarterback position go. The running backs aren't there, injured wide receivers, and left tackles. If Case Keenum can somehow muster up enough offense and the defense can hold their end of the bargain, the Browns probably could walk away with a W.
Kansas City is a 5.5-point favorite at Tennessee, coming off that big win. Joe, where are you on that one?
All right, so this is a fascinating one because Kansas City opens -4. They've been bet all the way up to 5.5. Everyone I know who does this for a living, who's involved in this game, is currently on the Kansas City side. Total's gone from 56 up to 57. We did see Tennessee play Monday night. I think a lot of people view that game, and there's a discussion as to what happened at the end of the game, whether or not it was the right call. The reality of the situation is, if you do this for a living, you probably analyze Tennessee and say they were lucky to get that win, because they were, at least in my opinion. If people want to disagree, that's fine, but Buffalo was the better team on that night. So now how do we evaluate Tennessee moving forward, right? It's a short week to turn around and get ready for Kansas City. Two teams that have absolutely atrocious defenses. So the thought process here is that Patrick Mahomes' arm should be better than Derrick Henry's legs over the duration of 60 minutes. I find it difficult to get behind Kansas City. All right, they're 4-13 against the spread over their last 17 games going back to last season. They're on the road this week in Nashville. If Tennessee is able to run the ball, and they should be able to run the ball, they're going to be able to control the clock and control the tempo, which is very big in keeping Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. So for me, it's a no play, but I will tell you some of the pros lined up to play Kansas City at -4 earlier in the week.
Well, the one thing that they're not going to be able to do is keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hand, because this is a quick strike offense against a very bad, poor secondary and defense in Tennessee. So therefore, the ball comes out of Mr. Henry's hands and into Ryan Tannehill. So this game is favored, in my opinion, for Kansas City, because Tannehill cannot get in the shootout with Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, I'm taking Mahomes in daily fantasy all day. All day against that secondary.
All right. Next up, Cincinnati at Baltimore.
I don't think your mic is working, big dog. Cincinnati at Baltimore, Joe, -6.5.
Money coming in on Cincinnati here. Open 6.5, down to 6, depending on where you look. I would side with Cincinnati in this spot. I know some people are going to think that's crazy. Baltimore off the huge win against the Chargers. Ravens have been very good. Lamar Jackson has been very good this season, but so is Cincinnati. And I don't think they're getting enough respect right now. They're 5th in scoring defense, and they're 2nd in the NFL in opponent yards per play. And they're familiar with Jackson. They play him twice a year. Doesn't mean they're going to shut him down, because I don't think you can shut down Lamar Jackson, but I do believe you can limit Lamar Jackson. And based on what Burrow and Jamar Chase are doing on that Cincinnati offense, I think this game is going to be tighter than expected. I would take the Bengals plus the points.
I think the Bengals is going to make it tough and everything, but on the defensive side of the ball, young Jamar Chase is basically taken the NFL by storm on the deep ball. Hasn't been that way probably since a young Randy Moss embarked up onto the league. The one thing that I would say is you don't have any answers for Super Lamar Jackson on the other side, then you're going to be in trouble. I'm impressed with Joe Burrow and the offense for Cincinnati. Not overly impressed on the defensive side, although the defense is pretty good, but you're going up against a special character in Baltimore.
Joe, can you hear me? I'm back now.
I can't hear you, and you sound sultry as always.
Well, yeah, because they turned my mic off for some reason. Somebody internally here is trying to sabotage me. I just want to ask you, so real quick, Kansas City covers last weekend. All of a sudden, everybody's putting money on Kansas City for the first time?
I think it's the matchup that for Kansas City it's very favorable because you have two awful defenses. And if Kansas City's ever going to run into some resistance, people are going to go the other way because Kansas City can't stop a cold right now.
Yeah, okay. All right. I'll believe it when I see it. Philadelphia at Las Vegas. Vegas, 3-point favorite. Your thoughts?
Tough game. I don't want anything to do with this game, to be completely honest with you. It's right on 3. It's been on 3 all week. The Raiders are off a big win at Denver, coming off that first game post the John Gruden drama. So you got to wonder, are they able to keep up the emotion? Because they obviously fed off of that for that game. Here comes Philadelphia on 10 days of preparation. Last time we saw them was a Thursday night. But do you really trust the Eagles to make good decisions? Do you trust them to handle the game on the road the way it needs to be handled? They've been a mess on both sides of the ball. Jalen Hurts is not getting the ball out of his hands fast enough. The Raiders are going to be coming after him. The one saving grace for Philly is that the fan base should take up half the stadium here in Vegas. The Bears fans traveled really well a couple weeks ago. The Eagles fans are going to travel really well. I'd love to give you something on this game. This is the ultimate stay away from me. I have nothing for the Raiders and the Eagles.
Yeah, this is one of those games where you don't really know. The Raiders played well last week in the absence of John Gruden. Rich Bisaccia took over. The team rallied around him. I look for them to do the same thing against the Philadelphia Eagles, although I think Jalen Hurts will continue to try to improve as the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. But in my opinion, the Raiders should win this game.
Yeah, the Eagles have won, and they've won and played close with some teams you'd be surprised by. I don't know. Something tells me, I like, if you're going to get points, I like to take the points with the Eagles actually here, guys. I think Jalen Hurts has got to stop waiting for guys to get open and throw to where they're going to be open once in a while.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.